Who here has heard of NLP? A few people. So NLP is called neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro is our brain. Linguistic is the language, and the programming is, again, like Greg talked about, is reprogramming our brain. So my brother, he played baseball in college at Lewis Clark State College, which is an amazing baseball program, and he was a pitcher, but he was a closer. So basically, it's all on him. He goes in the last 2 or 3 innings, and all pressure is on him. So he started going to this NLP coach, and they started doing kind of what Spencer was talking about, is setting triggers. So he would sit him down in a chair and have him close his eyes and start envisioning himself being the best pitcher. He had him think about the time where he was absolutely unstoppable, where the game would just slow down, that the mitt would just seem larger than life, that he could see the ball spinning in slow motion, that he had control over every pitch and had control over the speed, where he was just absolutely in the zone. And at that moment, he would tap, hit the brim on his hat. And he did it over and over and over again, kind of like Pavlov's dogs. Remember, you ring the bell, you get the meat, salivate started, now you ring the bell, they salivate. Same concept, okay? And he started triggering it. So then when he went into the game, somebody hits a home run before he was emotional about it. Just like us in sales. If a person doesn't buy the hearing aids, we're like, man, and we're sitting there talking to the next patient, and even though I'm looking at you and talking to you, I'm still thinking about the last patient. We've all been there. And so he's thinking about the last pitch, and he's not focused on what it is he's doing, and then guess what? A double, a triple, a single, and he's just getting destroyed. And so now he got to the point where every time he hits the brim of his hat, it instantly takes him to that state where he's a badass, where he's just in the zone. And so some guy hits a home run off of him, and he's like, didn't faze me. And that's what I want for all of you to get to the point where somebody doesn't buy and you go, doesn't faze me. And the next appointment, you are your best self. Because in all of us, we have a badass and we have a weak little individual. In every one of us. This isn't me pointing fingers. I'm telling you, this is in all of us. We all have a badass and we all have a weak self. But the person who gets stronger is the person you feed. So who are you giving attention to, and who is running your office? We recently went to a Tony Robbins convention, which was awesome. And he's like, I have multiple different personalities. At home, I'm Tone. My friends, my family, they call me Tone. I'm a loving, gentle, caring individual. But when I step foot and I cross that plane into office, I'm Tony effing Robbins. And he's walking like this. And he's like, I created this self because I knew there were certain attributes and characteristics and traits that I needed to have to run my office successfully, to be able to handle those obstacles and objections. When you have those obstacles, if he's Tony F. Watch out. I don't even need it. Right now, I'm Jared F. Mace. No, I'm just kidding. But this is what I want you guys to walk into that office, because each one of you are going to experience obstacles. You're all going to run into that wall. But there's a certain individual inside yourself that can break through that wall, and you know it's inside you. But there's also that certain person inside of you that once they hit the wall, they say, and they go back to what's comfortable. People tend to follow what's comfortable for them because it's easy. This year in 2018, it's going to be a different year for us. And the reason why I believe that is because I know that you're all badasses. I know that you all have the resources inside you to break through those limits. But what are you going to do on a daily basis to feed that person? That's the question you need to ask yourself. What can I do on a daily basis in the start of my morning to bring out that person?